Here we are. This is an odd way to film. Sorry, there we go. This is an odd way to film because you can see me. Oh my god! If I keep looking here, by the way, that's where I am. This is a weird feeling. So if I don't make eye contact all the time, that's why I'm looking over here, so I can see myself and you. It's a weird one. But now you can match the voice to the face if you go back and watch some of my old videos, which is a good thing. Um, I first of all, I just want to say I understand that I haven't filmed in 3 weeks. So from match week 9 to now, I haven't filmed. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know why. Match week 9 finished, and then we went somewhere. Me and my family went somewhere, and then match week 10, I had no motivation to film, and then match week 11, I was just like, all right, I probably got to now. Um, so yeah, here we are. Match week 11 has just finished, so we're gonna cover match week 9, 10, and 11. And we're going to do 3 team of the weeks, as you've seen by the thumbnail. And then what I didn't add in the thumbnail is we're going to do a team of the season so far, because I feel like that is a good way to do it. And then match week 20 we'll do a team of the season, an updated one, and then match week 30, and then match week 38 we'll do team of the season for all of it. Obviously over here and over here there are some pictures. That's just my wall. This is another wall, and that is the far wall. Room tour. Yeah, pretty much that's it. So, getting into it anyway, after a minute and a half of talking, and we haven't even gotten into the football yet. So, we're going to start from match week 9. I'm going to rush through match week 9 and 10 a bit, just so it kind of feels a bit quicker, and we're not sat here for 3 hours talking about football. That happened 3 weeks ago. So, match week 9. Match week. What's 9 in Spanish or French? Someone tell me in the comments what that is, because I actually don't know. Leeds beat West Ham 2-1. Brendan Aronson and Joe Rodon scored 2 in the first 15 minutes, and then Mateus Fernandes salvaged at least a point for the new Nuno Espirito Santo team in the 90th minute for West Ham. Sunderland got a shock victory over Chelsea. Garnacho scored in 4 minutes. Wilson Isidore, who's been on great form this season actually, scored in the 22nd minute. And then Talby scored in the 93rd minute to get a winner, which for Sunderland fans away at Stamford Bridge is a massive victory actually. Newcastle did what Newcastle do. Jacob Murphy scored in 18 minutes. Sasa Lukic pulled one back for Fulham in the 56th minute. And then Bruno Guimaraes also scored in the 90th minute to save Newcastle and get them the full 2 points. Man United's good streak, their hot streak of form, started in this game against Brighton, where they won 4-2 actually, which is a very, very good victory. Cunha, Casemiro, I don't know why I struggled to say Casemiro there. Cunha, Casemiro, Brian and Bremo made it 3-0, and then Danny Welbeck and Costulas pulled 2 back to make it 3-2, and then Bremo, just to seal the deal, scored in the 96th minute. Wow, this is a result that I forgot even happened. 3-2, Brentford, Liverpool. And guess who won? Brentford did. I don't know why I came so close to the mic there. That was weird. But yeah, Brentford won 3-2 against Liverpool. Dango Otara, which I sometimes struggle to say the name of Dango Otara, because his name is spelled really weird. Dango Otara and Kevin Sade scored, and Milos Kerkez scored in the 45th minute +5, which means 50. To make it 2-1 at half time. Igor Thiago scored a penalty in the 60th minute, and then Mohamed Salah scored in the 89th minute to nearly save Liverpool, but not quite. If I keep looking down, by the way, that's where all my information is. Like, I don't have it on a separate screen here, or I don't have it like where I can see my face. It's just on my phone, so I'll keep looking down and then up, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. I also keep looking over here more than I do here, right there, which is bad, but forgive me. It's my first time showing my face, you know. I've got to make sure everything looks good, and I make sure that I look good, which I always do. I'm joking, maybe. Bournemouth beat Nottingham Forest 2-0. Sean Dyche's first Prem game, I believe. Marcus Tavernier. Marcus Tavernier. Yes, brilliant. Marcus Tavernier scored in the 25th minute with Eli Junior Krupi, who scored 2 the game week before, I believe. Scored in the 40th minute to make that 2-0. Arsenal Crystal Palace, Ebere Eze scored against his former team in the 40th minute with a lovely scissor kick to score the one and only goal in that game. And then we have, oh my god, where's all my information gone? Here we go, we're back. Matty Scash. Yes, English is working great today. Matty Cash scored in the 20th minute for Villa to make it 1-0 against Man City. Burnley continued Wolves' season of misery by winning 3-2. Zian Fleming scored a double. Strand Larsen made it 2-1. Munetzi then scored to make it 2-2 to then put the game in the balance. And then Lyle Foster scored in the 95th minute. There's a lot of late winners this game week, which is an odd one. But this was possibly one of the performances of the season. Spurs beat Everton 3-0 to have the one and only victory at the Hill Dickinson Stadium so far this season, with Van der Ven scoring a double and then Sarr scoring in the 89th minute. One thing that I have realised about Spurs this season, in both Champions League and in the Premier League, is that they don't really give away points much. Do you know what I mean? Like, have you watching their performances in both competitions? They've been really stubborn against teams. So I just need to get my other thing up. I need to do 3 team of the week. So that's just why I'm looking down at the minute. Is that the correct one? No, that's the wrong one. Oh my word! What is going on? Help, please. Where's all my stuff? Here it is. Anyway, yeah, one thing about Spurs is that they've been really consistent in that some of their performances. They've only lost against Bournemouth, and I think there was another team that we might be coming up on soon. But they've seemed really, really confident in how they've been playing. I think Thomas Frank has really formed a structure there that is difficult to beat at the moment for other teams. Um, and obviously, it's international break currently. But I reckon after they come back, obviously it's the North London derby, and as you can see, probably nope, wrong hand. But where am I pointing? There we go. There's my finger. Um, that is an Arsenal scarf, which indicates that I'm an Arsenal fan. So yeah, I'm a bit worried. I'm not massively worried about the North London derby, but I'm a bit nervous. This is probably the most nervous, this is the most nervous that I've been before in North London derby for sure, for sure. Um, Sorry. There we go. Yay! Now I can see myself in a bigger screen. Look where I did it. Oh my god, this is weird, as I've said many times. Um, but yeah, I think the North London derby is going to be. I think if it's. Ooh, what is that? Can you not see a hair? Is that just like. Yeah, I think that's just me being weird. Anyway, um, yeah, I think this North London derby is going to be genuinely a really good one. I think it could be one of the best in like the last 5 years, just because of the stature of it and how both teams are playing at the minute. I think it will be genuinely really good. Um, anyway, on to the team of the week for game week 9. Yeah, I know. I keep looking over there. There's no point to be pointing it out. David in the back. I can see him. Look, there he is. Wait, no, wrong hand still. Um, There. That's David. Everyone say hello to David. But he keeps laughing at me. Um, so in goal, I've got my notes. Look at this really cool phone case, by the way. Spider-Man, Spider-Verse. Go watch it now. Not sponsored at all because with these numbers that we're getting on the channel, no sponsors. Um, anyway, I have put Petrovic in goal for this team. He made some really good saves for Bournemouth, and I think in terms of how good Bournemouth are doing, I think Petrovic could be one of the main reasons because of how good he's been. I always thought as soon as they made that signing from Chelsea, I thought Petrovic is genuinely a really good keeper. It's a really good signing from Bournemouth considering that they had Kepa last season on loan. And then, did they have him on loan? Yeah, they did have him on loan. I forgot about that. Yeah, they had him on loan. I'd like genuinely, it was Kepa and then Neto came back from a loan at Arsenal, which really didn't work out. I think he played one game for Arsenal whilst he was there. And then went back to Chelsea, and then they made another signing from Chelsea, which was Petrovic, which has worked out really well. I want to put Matty Cash in at right back. Right back. Yes, good. At right back, obviously scoring the only goal in that oh my god, in that Man City game. I think it just deserves a spot. He wasn't like he wasn't massively solid in defence. I think the only reason that I gave it to him was because of how he performed at right back and that he got the goal. Because no other right backs really impressed me. Joe Rodon again gets in the team purely because of the goal. I think. He was solid in parts of the game, but again, not a massively assuring performance for Leeds fans. Mickey van der Ven did what Mickey van der Ven does, scored two, played really well. I think he's been their best defender and possibly their best player this season as well. I've put Hartman in at left back, the Burnley defender. He was a good defender. I remember Hartman. I remember when they signed Hartman. Um, and before that, I didn't really know much of him. Like I didn't really know what he was about, but he's been really solid for Burnley. And then I put Casemiro in because he's, even though we're talking about match week 9 going on to now, he actually has been quite solid for the club as a whole. He's got a few goals, he got a few assists. Yeah, really solid, and I think his form really picked up in this game, which is great to see because like old Casemiro, like Real Madrid Casemiro, you just can't beat it, can you? I've put Szoboszlai in for Liverpool. Solid. Like he didn't really do much. Um, Obviously, I think did I say what was the score in that game again? I'm really not good with scores, you lot. They did lose, but it's fine because he got a good rating. He'd. I want to try start rating them out of 10, but I don't really know where to start with that. I kind of had to rewatch a lot of the highlights from the games and go off other sources of information. So this isn't mine, but some of it is mine, if you get what I mean. But yeah, Szoboszlai gets in my team. Cunha had a really solid game, even though people have been saying that he isn't a good signing because he's not getting goals or assists. He has been solid. Like Cunha has so much to his game, and he's been so good this season. So he gets in the team. Bruno Guimaraes because he scored in the 90th minute. There we go. No, I'm joking. I've always rated Guimaraes actually. Like, I know people have been talking about Tonali this season, but I think Guimaraes has gone under the radar because he's below him. People think that Tonali is their start like midfielder. There we go. That's a bad way to me to say it. But then I'm far away from the mic. Can you lot still hear me? Maybe not. I'm gonna sit here still. Um, but yeah, I think what the fuck. Who's leaving? Okay, anyway. Um, yeah, Guimaraes has gone under the radar a little bit because of Tonali and how he's been performing, but he's still a top class midfielder. Brian and Mbumo. Oh, Mbumo? I never say his name like that. I always say Mbumo. Tell me how you say his name in the comments, actually. That would be an interesting one to try and, like, debate, I guess. Mbumo gets in my team, scored two, had a very solid performance all over. And then Zian Fleming for Burnley also had a really good game. Obviously scored two. We know this already. Um, oh no. It started. The yawning. If you're an avid watcher, you know the yawning is always there. But yeah, so that is match week 9's team. Obviously, again, we're going to be flooding through these ones quickly. So buckle in, ladies and gentlemen. Buckle in, buckaroo, as I've heard people say before. I don't know why they say that. Right, next game week. Where are we? Yes. Um, Brighton beat Leeds 3-0. Just what Brighton do. Danny Welbeck scored in this game, which obviously gives him a big chance of getting called up for England. And I know a lot of sources have been saying that Thomas Tuchel was considering him. And there was an interview of Danny Welbeck done where he said he didn't really think a lot of it because he's just focusing on what he can do to help the team, which is fair enough. And then Diego Gomez scored two more following on from that Danny Welbeck goal. Brighton, not Brighton, what am I on about? Burnley lost 2-0 to Arsenal. Victor Gyökeres scored, and then Declan Rice scored. They were both in my fantasy team that week, which does wonders for me. Yeah, like I don't know what more you want me to say about Arsenal because they just don't seem like they can concede, and I know that's ironic with the game that they played after this. But yeah, they just don't like. As of this game, as of game week 10, they conceded three. That changed. Wow. My camera is shaking. I know. I have a really dodgy mic stand. I'm using what? How much am I using? One, two, three, four. I'm using like 6 or 7 different things to help my mic stand up. which is great. But I need an actual camera because right now I'm using a Nexigo camera. Obviously, I said last podcast that oh my god, I need to stop putting my arm on the table. Um, I said last podcast that I couldn't get the camera to work. I figured out technology, and I figured out how it worked. Which you must be all proud of me, because now you can see my beautiful face. I actually look really weird in this video. I don't know why. I think I changed some of the settings on the camera just to make me look even more amazing than what I normally look like. But yeah, Burnley, Arsenal. Oh no, you're on two of the video already. I could put a yawn counter in the corner. I might do that actually. Up here, up here somewhere. I'm gonna put a yawn counter in. That is, yeah, yawn counter will be up there somewhere. Um, yeah, Victor Gyökeres and Declan Rice scored a double because that's what two means. It was just a really good performance by Arsenal in general, to be fair. Palace scored two as well. But to be fair, Palace only scored one. Jean-Philippe Mateta scored in 30 minutes, and then Nathan Collins scored an own goal. I actually rate Nathan Collins. I think he's been really good this season. Obviously, not one of his finer moments in defence, but that's fine. Right. Fulham Wolves ended 3-0 to Fulham. Ryan Sessegnon, Harry Wilson, and then Yerson Mosquera. I don't know who that is, but he's obviously a Wolves player because he got an own goal. No. Three. Oh god. Three yawns. I keep thinking my camera's here. It's here. This is where I'm meant to be talking, but I keep looking over here because that's where I can see myself. But I'm not going to take that off because that'd be bad, because then I wouldn't be able to see myself. Quick drinks break. Everyone needs one. Air up bottle. Again, not getting sponsored. I can show you the name. Where is it? Air up. Wow, that's really shit. Hold on. Air up. There you go. You can see it. Not getting sponsored, but I'm just promoting their brand anyway. Hit me up. Don't. The numbers that we're getting are atrocious. You won't get any on your brand anyway. Yes, 3-0 to Fulham, and then Forest United ended 2-2. Casemiro scored again. Amad Diallo saved a point for the Red Devils, and then Morgan Gibbs-White and Nicholas Savona obviously scored in beneath that anyway. Spurs lost. Just saying. Just go leave that silent for a bit. Spurs lost. Yeah. Spurs lost to Chelsea. Chelsea haven't lost at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium so far. Which, like, I remember Spurs playing them twice last season. Oh, God's sake. Yes. I remember both the games of Spurs Chelsea last season, and they got mauled in both of them. I think the second one was worse than the first one. Yeah, just João Pedro. I took him out of my team 3 weeks ago, and he scored in the last 2 weeks, which is great. It's like great team management in my FPL. Liverpool thought they got back on track with things with the 2-0 win over Aston Villa with Salah and Gravenberch both scoring. You'll know what I mean if you know what happened after this game in Midweek 11, which I hope you all do, which is kind of why you watch the podcast, no? Yeah, 2-0 win for Liverpool over Villa. 3-1 win for West Ham to get them kick-started in their season kind of already. Over Newcastle, which was very, like, I didn't see that coming at all. They obviously Newcastle scored. Jacob Murphy scored in 4 minutes, and then Paqueta scored. And then from there, I was watching the score, and I was just like, all right, Newcastle are probably going to win anyway. It's just one of those things. It's like Lucas Paqueta is class anyway. No one can doubt that. I think he is anyway. I personally believe that Lucas Paqueta is genuinely class. And then Sven Botman scored about 15 minutes afterwards, obviously in just before half time, literally. And then I was like, all right, it's an own goal. I can still see Newcastle winning it though, because West Ham have been so poor this season that like I just can't see anything else. 5, I think. Are we on 5 yawns? I don't know. The yawn can will say somewhere. Yeah, and then In the 97th minute, Thomas Suchek sealed it, and I was just like, damn, that's crazy, because I genuinely wasn't expecting that at all. But there we go. Things happen. Shit happens in football, you know. 3-1 win for Man City over Bournemouth. Haaland scored twice. He is literally a machine, and then he pulled out the robot in this game as well, which is even more crazy. And then Tyler Adams kind of scored in between that, and then Haaland scored in the 33rd minute, and then Nico O'Reilly. Oh my word! Really? Are we on 6? Is that 6 yawns? I think we might be on number 6. It looks like I'm about to cry, but that's because like I'm yawning. You know, I need to figure out like because it. Oh no. It kind of changes. Like it's I don't know how do you describe it? It's not symmetrical. What's the opposite of symmetrical? Yes, that's actually the word. Opposite. So if I turn my head this way, I go that way, and then I go that way if I'm turning it this way. It's weird. But that's how a camera works, so I need to figure that one out. Yeah, Nico O'Reilly scored, I think it's his first professional goal. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's his first senior goal for the club. And then Sunderland and Everton got a 1-1 draw. Granit Xhaka scoring his first Everton goal, I believe, literally straight after halftime. The halftime whistle went, and Granit Xhaka just like decided he wanted to score, which I rate. I like Granit Xhaka a lot. Obviously, he played at Arsenal for 7 years, I believe. But yeah, he's been really good. On to the team of the week. I'm gonna put Vicario in there. I think he was solid. I think Vicario. I spoke about him a few weeks ago when he made a mistake against I can't remember who, but someone, and I criticised him for maybe not being the best at handling with his feet, but shot stopping, he is world class. And I don't know if I'd put him under the category of a world class goalkeeper. World class shot stopper is different. 100% he is. He's a bit like David De Gea has a lot more legacy, but in terms of playing, I think they're very similar. Um, but yeah, Vicario gets into my team of the week because of this is all staying in, by the way. You are not getting cuts of me not yawning because I'm going to keep yawning, no matter how much you hate it. It's all staying in. I think we're on 7 yawns or something. Yes, Vicario gets in. Mats Vifa gets in because I think he had a solid game in total. Nothing really went wrong for him. They kept a clean sheet. It was all good. And then next to him is his Brighton teammate Jean Paul Van Hecker. I think I learned it earlier. I think it's Hecker. I used to say Heck, but I think it is Hecker. Again, solid game, clean sheet, not much more you could ask. Gabriel Magalhaes gets in because he was solid. Obviously he didn't score, but I think he got the assist for the Gyökeres goal, if I'm not mistaken. Nico O'Reilly gets in, scored, solid performance. He is a starter for Man City at the moment, and I'm not. He's been really good. Like Pep. I think with Man City's academy, a lot of them do get wasted, but then you get those little gems like Cole Palmer, like Phil Foden, like Nico O'Reilly. You just get those ones. Like James Trafford, even though he isn't doing anything at the moment, he is sat on the bench. Um, he's been really good. So yes, Declan Rice gets in, goal, assured performance, best midfielder in the Prem this like season. I know people still say Gravenberch is the best, but I just don't see the argument. I'll be so real with you lot. I really don't see the argument. I've just realised it's very grainy. Like, this camera is very grainy. That's fine. No one really cares. Apart from if you do, and if you do, don't be so childish. Anyway, that was stupid. I don't know why I did that. Casemiro gets in again. Really assured performance. Got a goal. Not much more you could ask. Diego Gomez gets in. Obviously, he scored a double. A really assured performance again. There's not much more I could say. Ryan Cherky gets in, 2 assists, kind of what we were waiting for from him. Most assists in La Liga, not La Liga. What am I on about? Most assists in League One last season, or League How League Um, yes. So he got 2 assists for both Haaland goals. Granit Xhaka gets in because it's Granit Xhaka. And then Haaland gets in, obviously, with a double. He is a robot. He even said it himself. He is literally a robot. And even if you take the celebration, he is actually saying that he is a robot himself. Bin mate. Right. Bosh. Here we are. We are on game week 11. We've caught ourselves up in 25 minutes. I have just remembered that I haven't set myself out a team of the season so far. So we might just do it on the fly, if I'm being completely honest with you. I think I'm just I'm just going to do it on the fly, because why not? Spurs Man City, not Spurs Man City, what am I not? Spurs Man United was an entertaining game. Um, Brian and Buemo scored in 32 minutes. It was a really good header. He had a chance just before that, literally just before that, to make it 1-0. He messed up his header, and then he got another chance as it went out to the other side of the box, and then he scored then. Really good header. I was watching it with my girlfriend, who is a Spurs fan, and she was just like, yeah, he scored because he was bald. Just like, that is not how heading works at all. Mateus Tell scored in the 84th minute. That's one of the only things that he's done for Spurs this season. It was a good goal though. And then Richarlison scored in the 91st minute, and Spurs fans at that point were ecstatic. Like they won. They were celebrating like crazy. There was even a clip with James Maddison and Angry Ginge sat together, and Maddison goes crazy when Richarlison scores. Um, and I'm gonna be honest, I thought they won it too. I thought that goal did it. And then Mateus de Ligt, who is in my team of the season, I am literally thinking of it on the fly here. Who has he had a solid game in general, to be fair, and then he scored here. It was a really, really good performance from United and from Spurs. One of the most entertaining games of the season. Another sip of water. Got to stay hydrated today. Yummy. I do have an air bottle, as I have already mentioned in this video. I always do that though. Like I've probably done it in other videos. Like I've just said stuff for the sake of staying it. Stay in it? What am I even saying to you? I just say stuff and repeat myself a lot of the times. Why not? Fun. Um, I'm just gonna say something though, just quickly. Um, do you want me to do like a gaming channel or like something else to do with not just the podcast? Obviously, I know this is a podcast channel, but we can do other stuff. We can do like a gaming thing. I have both FIFA and Football Manager. We can do one of the two. Um, so yeah, comment if. Sorry, that was just my computer charger. Gotta have that. But yeah, genuinely comment if you do want me to do something like that, because I'm willing to. Like, there's no issues with it. But yes, on to the rest of the match week. Yeah, Spurs Man United 2-2, very entertaining game. Everton Fulham, where Everton won again at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. They seem unstoppable this season. I'll be very honest with you. Idrissa Gueye scored in 49 minutes, so on half time. On the Premier League app, that is what I use for my scores, by the way. It says 49, but sometimes it says like 45 plus like 2. Um, but yeah, 49 minutes is when he scored just before half time. And then Michael Keane with a header, who genuinely, I think Michael Keane has been in the game for 20 years, but he's like 30. He's not very old at all. Like in the grand scheme of things, like as a footballer, he is fairly old. As a defender, defenders can go on for a while. Like John Terry went on for quite a while, I think. Anyway, Jamie Carragher went on for a while, so he's got like at least another 4 or 5 seasons in him. Maybe not at the top, maybe not as a starter. I don't think he's even a starter now, is he? He is actually. What am I on about? But yeah, he's been around for ages. I'm convinced that he's been around for 45 years, and he is 20, like 30 something. Um, What was I gonna say? I was gonna go on to the next game. Is what I was actually gonna do. Continuing on West Ham's hot vein of form, they beat Burnley here 3-2. which doesn't seem like a big achievement, but when you've been as bad as West Ham have been, and how good Burnley have been, it's a good result. They won 3-2 against Burnley. Callum Wilson scored his first goal for the club, or maybe second. Is it? I think it might be a second, actually. I think I got my facts wrong. But yeah, so Callum Wilson scored. Zian Fleming did score first, though. Just saying. Um, then Thomas Suchek scored, and then Kyle Walker-Peters scored to make it 3-1 to the Hammers. And then Josh Cullen, how do you say that name? Burnley fans, help me out. Josh Cullen or Josh Cullen? I'm gonna say Cullen. Scored in the 97th minute just to salvage a goal just in the game. But again, Thomas Suchek is one of those players who I feel have been around for 40 years, but he's like 30 something. Do you know what I mean? It's like he is genuinely one of those players. He's been around for ages, but he's not really that old in the grand scheme of things. Now this one, I think this could be contender for game of the season. Sunderland Arsenal was such a good game, and Sunderland played so well. Dan Ballard scored to make it 1-0 to the Black Cats. I actually got their nickname correct. I always forget the Sunderland nickname, but I got it correct there. Yeah, Dan Ballard scored in 36 minutes with a really composed, good volley for a centre half. So yeah, that was the first goal Arsenal conceded in 13 hours of football, which is a crazy stat to say the least. After half-time, Bukayo Saka stepped up his performance and got a goal, which Roos should really be saving. Near post, couldn't get down quick enough. He should be doing better there. And then Leandro Trossard scored an absolute thunderbolt from outside the box. It was a lovely goal. I don't think I'll be able to get the clip. Clips are always difficult to find. Just on a sidetrack, clips for me, and I might be looking in the wrong place all the time, but they're really difficult to find for me. So go watch the highlights. I think it's always a valuable thing to do. Then Brian Broby scored in the 94th minute to save that point, and they deserved it. Sunderland were really, really good all game, and even though they started with a 5 at the back, which was an indicator that they're going to sit behind the ball. They did score first, and then they did sit behind the ball, pretty much. And then we scored the equaliser, and then they didn't sit behind the ball. And then we scored our second, and then, that last 10-15 minutes was an absolute mauling. We could barely get the ball. And then what we did was we changed out Eze for Mosquera, and then it fell apart. Because Eze was getting the ball and he was being creative with it, but Arteta wanted to take him off to go more defensively, clearly. But fair play to Sunderland. They played a really good game. This could be a bit of a shorter episode. I'm just looking at the time. I've only been filming for half an hour. I didn't even realise that. Damn. Might get a shorter episode. That's what you get for seeing my face. Shorter episodes. Got to take it in while you can, you know. Chelsea Wolves. It was a mauling by Chelsea. 3-0. Malo Gusto, João Pedro, and Pedro Neto all scored in this game. Ooh, how good. Yeah, Chelsea look really good. I think Vitor Pereira, if I'm not mistaken, got sacked. Got sacked before this game. He got sacked before or just after. I'm gonna put a stat in here on the screen just to say when he got sacked. I can't remember, and then there'll be some writing above it, just to say when he did actually get sacked. Villa absolutely murdered Bournemouth with a 4-0 victory. Emiliano Buendia, who's been on brilliant form recently. So Buendia, Amadou Onana, Ross Barkley scored, and then Donyell Marlon also scored. Because why the flip not? And then Brentford defeated Newcastle in a fairly simple game for them. Kevin Sade, Igor Thiago scored another double. Harvey Barnes scored for the Newcastle, and then Dan Burn got sent off. Obviously, he caused that penalty, got a second yellow, and they got sent off for it. Crystal Palace Brighton, fairly boring, 0-0. Dean Henderson is my man of the match. There is now a cat in my room. Bear with. cat is still here. If you see a cat on my bed, like over there somewhere, don't be alarmed. That is my cat. I don't know where she. Let me just check. Hello. She's there. She's fine. Yeah, fairly boring. Dean Henderson, man of the match for me and for everyone else involved. It was just boring. Like I hate 0-0 games because they're just dull, always dull. I've never seen an entertaining 0-0 game. I'll be so honest with you. Um, Nottingham Forest got on track with Sean Dyche as they defeated Leeds 3-1. Lucas Nemecha scored. Can you hear that? That is my cat. Um, Lucas Nemecha scored in 13 minutes. Ibrahim Sangare scored shortly afterwards. Morgan Gibbs-White and then Elliot Anderson made it 3-1 with a penalty at the very end. And then Man City last night absolutely ruined Liverpool. Where are Liverpool in the table? I'll tell you in a minute. Let me see. So Liverpool sat 8th. They're below Man United. They're below Aston Villa. And that title gap has closed. The leaders gap has closed a little bit to 4 points. Arsenal sat above Man City and Chelsea and Sunderland, that's the top four. Spurs could sneak in there if, say, Sunderland lose, or even if Sunderland draw. If Sunderland lose and Spurs get a draw, their goal difference is still higher. But yeah, like 4 points is really not a lot when you think about it. It only takes 2 slip-ups from Arsenal and 2 good performances from City to go above them. Which isn't completely impossible considering what happened 2 seasons ago. I think that's when we got closest. Yeah, 2 seasons ago is when we got closest to it. I've got to say, my man of that is Jeremy Doku. He was electric in this game, and then obviously topped it off with a brilliant goal. Really, really solid, just very good game of football, you know? One of those things. Anyway, on to my team of the week. I've put Emiliano Martinez in goal. Good performance. Obviously there were rumours that he was going to leave last season. He even cried in the last game of the season for Aston Villa. Nah, he stayed. He was always going to stay anyway. At left back I've got Nico Williams. I don't know why I'm starting from left to right, but we'll do that. Yeah, Nico Williams goes in. Good assured performance for Forest. Michael Keane obviously with the goal again. Oh, there she is. I didn't even see her there. Cat. Where am I pointing? There I am. Yeah, Nico Williams goes in, assured performance. Michael Keane goes in, goal, assured performance. Ruben Diaz goes in. I don't know how. He was subpar all game. Who would I have put in over Ruben Diaz? Someone else. Who knows? Mateus Nunes goes in. He was decent all game. Idrissa Gueye goes in, goal, good performance. Nico Gonzalez goes in, goal, good performance again. It was a very good goal, actually. It took a massive deflection, but still, good goal. Jeremy Doku goes in, who is my man of the week. My man of the week? That sounds really weird out of context. My player of the week. There you go. My player of the week goes to Jeremy Doku simply because of how electric he was. And obviously the goal that he scored was brilliant. Dewsbury Hall goes in, really creative all game, created many, many chances for Everton. Alejandro Garnacho goes in, goal, decent performance all around. Did he get a goal? I don't know. Maybe I'm being stupid. I don't think he did actually. But still, good performance. And then Igor Thiago goes in, double, good performance. Not much more you could ask really. But yeah, there you go. I'm carrying my mic now because my back started hurting, so that made me sound really old. I'm not that old. I'm 18. We're fine, guys. Yeah, there you go. 3 match weeks done. I've got tired of holding my mic. I'm really bored. I don't know what that even means. But yes. So, 3 match weeks gone through. 3 match weeks done. Yeah, 3 team of the weeks done. Obviously, I started doing the team of the. Oh, maybe no. Is my mic okay? My mic seems good. We're good, guys. Don't worry. Yeah, I started doing team of the weeks obviously last season. If last season, I've only started doing the podcast this season. Last video, not last week, because obviously last week I didn't do anything. But last video I started doing match weeks. Oh, I can't English. My English doesn't English. I started doing team of the weeks last video, which was 3 weeks ago. I think somewhere around there. Go watch it if you haven't already. Just by the way. But yeah, now on to my team of the season so far, and in goal, I don't have my phone up. I'm doing it on the fly. I'm genuinely going to do it on the fly. So listen up, because I could change my mind on this quite a few times. Martin Dubravka goes in for me. He's been really good for Burnley. I've said it so many times in videos. That move from Newcastle to Burnley was possibly one of the best things he's done in his career. He's really gone to prove himself as a solid Premier League goalkeeper. Right back, I'm going to go Jurrien Timber. I think he's been so crucial for Arsenal going forward and really good defensively. I think both sides of his game have been exceptional for Arsenal this season, and I can't see a reason on why he wouldn't go in people's team this season. Next to him, I'm going to go as Arsenal counterpart with Gabriel. Again, set pieces, he's been really good. Best defender in the league. I don't want to hear any chat about it. He's been so good. So good this season. Next to him is a tricky one. Next to him's a really tricky one, actually. But I'm going to go Matthias de Ligt. For Man United and how they started the season to how they are now, Matthias de Ligt has been that one really consistent player, and he's been a standout for them. When they signed him last season, I believe they signed him last season, he came in, didn't have the best start to life in Manchester, but really grew into that team, and this season he has been exceptional for them. So left back, I have two options. So I could go for Calafiori and make it a nearly all Arsenal back line, or I could go for Nico O'Reilly, and I think I'm going to go with Nico O'Reilly. For his standout season, like last season, my left back would have been Miles Lewis-Skelly. His first senior... I'm Max back. What happened there? Why did it fall over? I wasn't in a weird position or anything. Just sorting out. There we go. We should be right now. Are we? We should be okay now. Yeah, like last season, if I would have done this, Miles Lewis-Skelly... It's edging weirdly close. That sounds weird. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, so Miles Lewis-Skelly, I would have put in my team this season for last season, but this season, first pro senior season, he goes in fairly comfortably. We're going to do a 4-3-3, so three midfielders. My three are Declan Rice, and then I'm going to put in, again, I'm doing this on the fly. So Declan Rice goes in. I think for his recent form, I'm going to put in, oh, actually, I might change. Oh, do I put Van der Ven in over De Ligt? It's a tough one. I'm not taking Gabriel out because he's been the best defender in the league. I'm gonna say either Van der Ven or De Ligt. Or should we do a 4-4-2? Yeah, we'll do a 4-4-2. That because then I can fit two players in that I need to put in. So Declan Rice goes in my midfield, and going on recent form, I'm gonna put Casemiro in. Again, I think he's been really solid. I think he's been really good. Left wing. Left wing's a tough one because I'm not going to put Doku in because this season he has been subpar. My right wing is going to be... Nice. My right winger is probably going to be in Buemo. Going off fairly recent form, he has been in these last 5 weeks, I think the best right winger that we've had in the Premier League. Left wing, I'm not sure. I genuinely don't know. Left wingers in the Premier League is a tough one because there's no standout ones really. Going off the top of my head, I'm going to do strikers first because then it makes it a lot easier for me. Erling Haaland, self-explanatory. And Igor Thiago. I'm going to put in Igor Thiago. Should I have a look, actually? Let me do some research mid-video on who I'm going to put out. Oh, Jesus Christ, I've covered you with my phone. Yeah, I'm going to put Igor Thiago in. I think he's been really crucial to what Brentford have been doing this season. Let me have a look. Let me have a look. Oh, actually, I'm not going to put Casemiro in my midfield. I'm going to put Granit Xhaka in my midfield. Yes, Granit Xhaka goes in. Oh, yes. There we go. Left winger. Just found a good one that I could put in. I'm going to go through it at the end of the video, by the way. Jack Grealish goes at my left wing. He's had a really good life at Everton so far. I think he's been really good. Um, and yeah, Granit Xhaka goes in my midfield. So yeah, that's a good one. I think that's good. I think that's a good team of the season. So in goal, Dubravka. Left back, I put Nico O'Reilly. My two centre backs, it's either De Ligt or Mickey van der Ven. One of the two you could put there, but Gabriel solidly goes in. Right back, I've got Yuri and Timber. Right wing, I've put in Buemo. Two centre mids, Granit Xhaka, Declan Rice. Left wing, Grealish. Up top, Haaland, Igor Thiago. Bosh. Done. Um, yeah, I hope you liked seeing this for the first time as well. This is going to be the normal setup unless something changes. If not, there's another place in the house where I can film. Not an issue. But yeah, it's been good. I've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed this episode a lot. Rattling through the three is not particularly ideal, but it's just one of those things that you got to get through. The yawn counter is 7. I think we got through 7. I haven't yawned for the rest of this video, which is a great thing. But yeah, I do hope you all enjoyed it. I know I did. International break, so boring. Just try to have fun, I guess. Whichever country you support, you might not be supporting England. You might be supporting the Dominican Republic of Congo. Who knows? But yeah, um, it's a boring time. It's going to be really boring. But we'll be back. We will be back with some Premier League videos as soon as match week 12 goes live. A very big game. North London Derby is obviously in on match week 12. 12? Um, yeah, match week 12, North London Derby. That will be the biggest game. I can't watch it because I'm at work, which is always fantastic news. Um, but yeah, I'll see you then. Team of the week. Hope you enjoyed my team this season. It will be on screen at the end of the video, just so you all know. Just so you're all very aware. But yeah, goodbye. I will see you next time. Match week 12. Have a good one. See you later. Goodbye.